Hey there, interwebs, or should I say hi log sel, because this video is all about Vikings, and it's brought to you by Vikings, War of Clans. Just kidding, do you really think this channel's big enough for a sponsorship? No, this video is brought to you by the fact that Vikings are awesome, but sadly misunderstood. You can test how much you know and how much you think you know about them with this video quiz. To be honest, the real reason I made this video was because I wrote some trivia questions for a Viking-themed Boy Scout event, but they got cut from the schedule because we were short-staffed, and I spent 6 hours writing them, so someone's going to answer them, damn it. Now, I'll read off the questions and display them on screen, then wait a few seconds for you to say the answer out loud. I don't care that I won't hear it, and it doesn't matter if you're watching this video alone at home. Everyone knows that answers don't really count if you don't commit to them. If you need more time to think things over, you might want to be quick on the pause button. Finally, I will do my best to pronounce these names correctly, but I will fail because, as my girlfriend puts it, speaking Old Norse is like trying to gargle your own tongue. Number 1. Regarded to be agents of Odin, these birds appeared on Viking flags. Answer: ravens. Odin has 2 ravens known as Hugin and Munin who travel the world to bring him knowledge. Number 2. In which century did Vikings start raiding England and France? A. 6th, B. 7th, C. 8th, D. 10th. Answer: 8th. The first Viking raid conducted in England was the sack of the monastery at Lindisfarne in 793. Number 3. True or false? When wealthy Vikings died, they were sometimes buried in ships. Answer: true. Although the phrase Viking funeral conjures up images of burning boats at sea, being buried underground in a boat was the standard funeral for individuals of high honor. Number 4. Lending their name to a recent Aston Martin vehicle, these winged daughters of Odin were believed to escort slain warriors to Valhalla. Answer: Valkyries. Only half of those who die in battle go to Valhalla. The other half go to the goddess Freya's afterlife called Folkvanger. Number 5. Although now better known for a breed of dog, natives of this land were attacked by Freydis Eriksdottir and her warriors. A. Iceland, B. Labrador, C. Newfoundland, D. Quebec. Answer: C. Newfoundland. A daughter of Eric the Red, the Vinland Saga tells us Freydis was an athletic, strong-willed woman who would defy the expectations of her society. Number 6. Believed to possess magical properties, these characters comprise the Norse alphabet known as Futhark and have been found carved on ritual stones. Answer: runes. The name Futhark derives from the fact that the first 6 runes in it correspond to F, U, T, H, A, R, and K. Number 7. Who was the first European to discover continental North America? A. Eric the Red, B. Leif Erikson, C. Christopher Columbus, D. Amerigo Vespucci. Answer: B. Leif Erikson. Leif's surname means that he is the son of Eric the Red, who himself first settled Greenland. Number 8. In addition to being the name of a color and a type of alert, this fossilized resin was used as currency by the Norsemen. Answer: amber. Vikings also traded in silver, ivory, and furs, among other valuables. Number 9. Norsemen primarily comprised the Varangian Guard, a unit of elite warriors dedicated to protecting the nobility in which unlikely city? A. Constantinople, B. Florence, C. London, or D. Paris. Answer: A. Constantinople. The Hagia Sophia, constructed in Constantinople, now present-day Istanbul, is also home to runic graffiti believed to have been left by a member of the Varangian Guard. It says Halfdan was here. Number 10. True or false? Vikings wore horns on their helmets. Answer: false. The image of the horned helmet associated with Vikings was a Victorian-era fabrication. The only Vikings with horns on their helmets come from Minnesota. Number 11. What made Viking longboats such a formidable asset for raiding? A. They were outfitted with early cannons. B. Their shallow keels allowed them to be navigated along rivers. C. They could be sailed or propelled by oars. D. Both B and C. Answer: D. The clinker method of construction allowed for a flat-bottomed boat which could sail along rivers while remaining strong enough for travel on the open sea. Number 12. Only visited by Norsemen later in the Viking era, which of the following countries is not part of Scandinavia? A. Denmark, B. Finland, C. Norway, D. Sweden. Answer: B. Finland. Despite being part of the Scandinavian peninsula, Finland is not technically part of Scandinavia proper. The 4 countries can collectively be referred to as Fennoscandia. Number 13. How many days of the week are named after Norse gods? Answer: 4. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tyr, Odin, Thor, and Freya all have days named after them. Sunday and Monday are named for the sun and moon, but Saturday was named after Saturn, the Roman god equivalent to Cronus, not the planet also named after him. Number 14. Archaeological records in the Norse sagas tell us the Vikings were armed with which of the following? A. Axes, B. Spears, C. Swords, D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. Vikings also like to give their weapons names like Legbiter and Bloodhungry. Number 15. Odin is considered god of wisdom and head god of the Norse pantheon due to his status as the Allfather. Which of the following fictional characters does not take inspiration from him? A. Gandalf, B. Santa Claus, C. Mr. Wednesday, D. Sherlock Holmes. Answer D. Sherlock Holmes. Although it may be difficult to believe, strong evidence indicates that many Christmas traditions of Northern Europe have pagan roots, and Odin was one of many figures who contributed to the modern image of Santa Claus. Number 16. Now a method of device connectivity, what was the epithet of King Harald Gormson, who united many tribes of Denmark into a single kingdom? Answer: Bluetooth. Bluetooth connectivity was named after King Harald based on the idea that the technology would unite devices the way he united the tribes of Denmark. The symbol is a bind rune, a form of orthographic ligature, combining the Futhark characters for the initials H and B. Number 17. Popularized by Marvel Comics and their film adaptations, Mjolnir is the name of which Norse god's iconic hammer? Answer: Thor. When the dwarves were creating Mjolnir, they also created Draupnir, a self-replicating gold ring, and Gungnir, Odin's magic spear which never misses its target. Number 18. True or false? According to myth, Odin rides an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir. Answer: True. In a feat of biological implausibility, Loki gave birth to Sleipnir, making him the brother of the great wolf Fenrir and Jormungandr, the serpent who encircles the entire world. Number 19. True or false? The Norsemen were dirty, primitive savages compared to their mainland European counterparts. Answer: false. The Norse pagans had a rich culture of their own and were actually more hygienic than other Europeans of the time. In the Chronicle of John of Wallingford, the monk complained that the Danes were seducing good Christian women by bathing regularly, combing their beards, and wearing jewelry. The heathens! Number 20. True or false? A Viking spent most of his life going on raids. Answer: false. A career as a Viking was merely a part-time job consisting only of seasonal raiding when travel was favorable. Most of the Norse population for most of the year made a living through farming, fishing, and other more peaceful pursuits. Number 21. Vikings were known to take captives when raiding. What did they call them? A. Thralls, B. Trolls, C. Tolls, or D. None of the above. Answer: A. Thralls. This is where we get the modern English word enthrall, meaning to captivate. Thrall was also the term used for the captive combatants in the Star Trek episode The Gamesters of Triskelion. Number 22. True or false? Norse society was democratic. Answer: true. Although they followed the leadership of a king, the communities were largely self-governing. Every group had a thing, a regular assembly where any free person could raise an issue for discussion and a vote. Number 23. True or false? Cats featured prominently in Norse mythology. Answer: true. While not as iconic as wolves or ravens, cats appear frequently in the stories. Freya's chariot is pulled by a pair of giant cats, and in the story of Utgard Loki, Thor was incapable of lifting a cat, but it was actually Jormungandr in disguise. Number 24. True or false? Special Viking warriors called berserkers would eat psychoactive mushrooms known as flyagaric to induce a trance and enter a violent fury in battle. Answer: false. Despite the theory being passed off as fact in some circles, it's hotly debated by ethnomycological scholars and there's no credible evidence to confirm it. Number 25. Which of the following cities did Vikings not visit? A. Dublin, B. Gibraltar, C. Odessa, D. None of the above. Answer: D. None of the above. Viking expeditions traveled just about everywhere, from Scandinavia to the Iberian Peninsula, the Mediterranean, Anatolia, Central Europe, and the lands that would become modern-day Russia. Oh yeah, North America, too. Number 26. True or false? Norse women could divorce their husbands. Answer: true. Although they usually married in their early teenage years, women in Norse society could legally divorce their husbands. They were often very independent and were granted many rights and privileges denied to Christian women of the same period, such as the right to vote. Number 27. Spoiler alert. With an act of cruel manipulation, which Norse god can be most blamed for Baldur's death? A. Heimdallr, B. Hodr, C. Loki, or D. Thor. Answer: D. Loki. Although it was the blind god Hodr who shot the mistletoe arrow, or spear, tellings vary, which killed Baldur, it was Loki who tricked him into doing it. Loki later boasted about it in what could be considered mytho-history's oldest example of battle rapping. Number 28. Shortly before his final battle against Duke William, the soon-to-be conqueror, of Normandy, King Harold Godwinson defeated Harold Hardrada in which famous battle, which is generally considered to have marked the end of the Viking era? A. The Battle of Clontarf, B. The Battle of Edington, C. The Battle of Normandy, D. The Battle of Stamford Bridge. Answer: D. The Battle of Stamford Bridge. Although the battles of Clontarf and Edington were decisive Viking defeats in both cases, the Battle of Stamford Bridge was the final nail in the coffin, or burial ship, for the Viking Age. Ironically, Harold Godwinson, who defeated Harold Hardrada, was himself defeated by William of Normandy, a Viking descendant. He was a Norman, which comes from the phrase North Man. Number 29. What hair color was most prized in Norse society? A. Blonde. B. Brunette. C. Redhead. D. Shaved, i.e. none. Answer A. Blonde. Fair hair was so prized that brunettes and redheads would bleach their hair blonde with strong soap made from lye. This had the side benefit of killing lice, too. Number 30. Which Frankish king paid Viking raiders a ransom of 7,000 gold livres to end the siege of Paris in the year 845? A. Charles the Bald. B. Charles the Fat. C. Charles the Great, aka Charlemagne. D. All of the above. They were all epithets for the same king. Answer A. Charles the Bald. Charles the Bald was Charlemagne's grandson, and he assembled an army to dispel the Vikings, but after half of his men were killed and the rest fled, he was left with no choice but to pay the Vikings Danegeld to leave. Number 31. Which Norse god is capable of magically altering his appearance? A. Loki. B. Odin. C. Both of the above. D. None of the above. Answer C. Both. Even though Loki the Deceiver is much better known for it these days, Odin can also transform himself if he so pleases, often taking on the appearance of a traveler in his pursuit of knowledge. Number 32. True or false? The Vikings preferred to navigate using the stars. Answer: false. Archaeological evidence suggests Vikings used sundials as a type of solar compass. This would have been more effective than using the stars, because in the high northern latitudes the nights are short but the days are long during the raiding season. Number 33. How many eyes does Odin, god of knowledge and wisdom, have? A. 1. B. 2. C. 3. D. 1,000. Answer: A. 1. He knows quite a lot, but 1,000 eyes would be a bit much, and although he started off with 2, he sacrificed 1 to gain the knowledge of the mythical well of Mimir. Number 34. Viking longships had the head of what animal on their prow? A. Dragons. B. Ravens. C. Both. D. Neither. Answer: A. Dragons. Viking longships are also sometimes called dragon ships due to this iconic feature. Iceland enacted a law during the Viking era that boats could not display these when approaching, lest their protector spirits known as Landfeiter be unnecessarily provoked. Number 35. Skjaldmær was the Old Norse word for legendary female warriors more commonly known today as A. Amazons, B. Shield maidens, C. Spearwives, D. Valkyries. Answer: B. Shield maidens. It's debated whether or not shield maidens really existed, but some believe that if they did, they may have inspired the concept of Valkyries. Number 36. Which of the following was not a Viking activity? A. Ice skating. B. Skiing. C. Snowboarding. D. Chess. Answer: C. Snowboarding. It is believed the Norse people invented ice skating using skates made from cattle bones, and Ullr was their god of skiing. Hnefatafl is known today as Viking chess. Number 37. Elite Viking warriors took inspiration from which of the following animals? A. Bears. B. Boars. C. Wolves. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. Berserkers are the most famous and took inspiration from bears, but other types of warrior included the Svinfylking and Ulfhednar, boar and wolf warriors. Number 38. What kind of armor did Vikings wear? A. Lamellar scale armor. B. Mail, aka chainmail. C. Nothing or thick clothing. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. Given the length and breadth of the Viking era, they had access to many different styles of armor. The kind which any particular Viking wore depended on what he could personally afford. For example, the elite Varangian Guard wore high-tech scale armor. Number 39. Which U.S. state has the largest population of citizens of Scandinavian descent? A. California. B. Massachusetts. C. Minnesota. D. Pennsylvania. Answer: C. Minnesota. Minnesota has around 1.6 million Scandinavian American citizens, about 32% of their total population, hence the Minnesota Vikings Sports Ball Society. California, however, takes second place with roughly 1.5 million, less than 4% of their total population. Number 40. Who were the Jomsvikings? A. Elite Scandinavian mercenaries. B. Mythical sons of Odin. C. A Swedish death metal band. D. Vikings who gave up raiding to settle as farmers in Iceland. Answer: A. Elite Scandinavian mercenaries. Despite being devout pagans, the Jomsvikings were in many other ways similar to Christian knightly orders which would arrive later in the medieval period. The Swedish death metal band Amon Amarth also has an album named Jomsviking. And with that, the quiz is finished. If you've been keeping track of how many you got right, you can multiply that number by 2.5, and that's the percentage you got correct. Share it below in the comments, because I'm curious just how much the average viewer actually knows about the Vikings and Norse society. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Share it with your friends so when they get a lower score you can go neener neener neer. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.